So good afternoon, students. Yesterday we have discussed in the initial class, it was just introductory class as to the introduction to geography. So we have seen what exactly the geography is, what is the scope of geography, what exactly means the geography. Yes, we have all dealt this with these basic points. And later on we shifted to means what is discussing the geography. We had to come and start our geomorphology classes. But as I have told you earlier also, as far as our geomorphology portion is concerned, our first topic, very first point in geomorphology is, what is it? I need answer from you. The first point is the origin and evolution of the earth crust. But again I told you that before dealing exactly this point, that means the origin and evolution of the earth, it would have become a bit difficult for you to understand this process, because prior to understanding this origin and evolution of the earth crust, there are various such number of features that you need to understand as far as geography is concerned. And this is especially for my fresher students. And again I would also appeal to the older students, if there are so any, that you must understand certain basic points, basic features regarding the geography and all these, so that your development regarding your plate tectonic, your various endogenetic, exogenetic forces and other entire geomorphological aspects, you can understand it better only after dealing some basic points. So what are those basic points? In previous class we have discussed regarding general points regarding the geography. Now I have told you that we need to talk in sense of certain geological aspect. Yes, so understand my point, students. Geology, it's not a part of study of the geologist himself. Even if one want to study the geography, or geographer also, he must have some basic concept regarding the geology. Because if you see our syllabus, then you will come to know that whether it may be general geomorphic section, that means the physical geography, or to be very particular, when you study with the geography of India as well as the geography of Bihar also, then you need to understand certain geological concepts. Yes, you should have better idea, because you see there was a question in PT also based on the geological structure of Bihar. Yes, it was geological structure based question. Again we see the questions regularly in the mains as well as in the optional also. And importantly, students, I have come to know that even in UPSC also, my students tells me that there are certain questions regarding pertains to the geological structure of the earth or the origin of the earth, etc. So that's why, and also for the better understanding of the geography and writing the answers in well manner, it is important to have a concise idea regarding the geology and geological structure, or say the origin of the earth and all these. So that's why in brief we will discuss all these points. So my intention is that you should be having a very conceptual clarity regarding the geography as well as geology. So the basic point today is geological structure, geology base, or you can also say that I will club this point with the origin of earth. Because see, again understand, students, as far as this point of the origin of earth is concerned, it is not the part of your syllabus. Your syllabus talks about the origin evolution of the earth crust. Yes, but prior to that you need to understand the origin of the earth, how to place. Yes, so my students, as far as this origin of the earth is concerned, we also need to understand certain geological structure of the earth as well as our India. So see, in other words, this also can be, heading can be given as the geological history of the earth. Another similar heading in the same parlance is, as far as origin of earth is concerned, to be a greater perspective, because origin of crust means is a smaller point. To go behind that, you will get the origin of the earth, and after all, the broader concept is the geological history of the earth. Yes, so if you understand this very well, believe me, student, your interest towards geography, your understanding towards geography excuse me your understanding towards geography as well as answer writing will be far better. And What happens, students generally, I have seen that the students generally ignore this part and they start directly studying from the point and point of your syllabus. But that is the reason when you go inside into the syllabus and read one point, you faces some difficulties. You do not understand it very well. Why? Because what we are dealing today and tomorrow, means in these two classes, this point is missing in your understanding. Just understand, my students. We will cover the entire syllabus. It will happen. But unless and until if you understand what we are going to teach today and the class followed by this in these two classes, it is very, very important to have a better conceptual clarity regarding the subject of geography and as far as your syllabus is also concerned. So if we start with this broader point, because I also recently told that geological history of India is a bit broader topic, then bit smaller is origin of the earth and bit smaller is the origin of and evolution of the crust. Yes, so this is the point where our syllabus will start, origin and evolution of the earth crust. But prior to that, you need to understand geological history of earth and origin of the earth, and then how the origin and evolution of the earth took place, and then we can come to the origin and evolution of the earth crust. Yes, so now come up with this very first point, that is the broader aspect, that is the geological history of earth. So my students, now see, take it very easily. I will explain you each and every term. It sounds to be a bit difficult because you are not acquainted with this, but believe me, if you will be patient, you will understand each and everything, and it will be easier for you and it will enhance your confidence, because these form the basic concepts of geography. So see, first understand this term. Go in a step-by-step manner. As you are new, fresher to the geography, yes, in that parlance you have to see it here. So as far as this heading, that means geological history of the earth is concerned, here the important point is the geological and history. So you need to understand what exactly the geology is and what is the history. So as far as geology is concerned, I have told in previous class that both geography as well as geography, these are the two disciplines that deals with the study of the earth. Yes, this is the twin branch or twin discipline as like geography, but the difference is that as far as geology is concerned, it deals with the study of earth and its geological history. And it is stated that history, but what history? Which history? The geological history. As far as geology is concerned, it again deals with all the processes, deals with the study of all the processes which are involved in the origin of earth and its crust, importantly. See, students, crust, this is crust. As far as geology is concerned, it is limited to only the crust part of the earth. See, this is the earth and this is the crust. And below we know that, what is here? This is the mantle and this is the core. Isn't it or not? Core. So as far as geology is concerned, it restricts itself to the study of the crust, yes, and not to the mantle and core. As far as study of the mantle and core is concerned, it is the aspect, it is jargon of paleontology and all this, and especially the geomagnetism and paleomagnetism. Yes, what? As far as the mantle is concerned, or the study of core is concerned, it is the aspect jargon of geomagnetism or paleomagnetism. Yes, it deals with those studies. But as far as geology is concerned, it limits itself to the crust part. Yes, so along with that, we have seen that as far as geology is concerned, it deals with the study of the earth and the history of the earth, that means the geological history of the earth. Additionally, it deals with all those processes which are involved in the origin of the earth and its crust. Yes, again, this geology, it also deals with the study of origin and evolution of rock. Origin and evolution of rocks. Yes, important point. Geology also deals with the origin and evolution of the rocks. Moreover, it also deals with the minerals, study of minerals. Then water. As far as water is concerned, both surface water and subsurface water. Yes, surface water and subsurface water. And also means various minerals we have done, then water is concerned. So, and the rocks. So, this entirely is the field of geology. Getting it? So, we have seen that as far as, understand this point very first, as far as geology is concerned, it deals with the study of the earth and its geological history. It deals with the origin, means in the entire processes, all those processes which are involved in the origin of the earth and earth crust. Further, it also deals with the study of the rock. The study of the rock is also called as petrology, and again, it also concerns itself with the study of the minerals and water. As far as water is concerned, both surface as well as subsurface water. And also you can add here minerals and means here the petroleum and all this. Yes? So, this is entirely is the field of geology. Getting it? So now, again coming back to the point, as far as history is concerned, yes. So we know that, take an example of the subject history. In history, what we do in school days, you have studied your ancient history, then your medieval history, then your modern history. Again, you have seen the dark age. You have heard about the dark age and all this. So all these are the parts of that is sort of the history. But as far as this point in geography is concerned, where history means the geological history. Geological history means the formation of the earth, related to the earth, origin of the earth, origin of the crust and all this, and the life forms that develop in it, and the various processes also involved in are with respect to this earth for various processes such as phenomena such as the earthquake, volcanoes, etc. etc. So all that history we have to see in this point. And history means it also involves how the origin of the earth took place, additionally how the man evolved, how the plants evolved. Yes, so all these are spoke, this entirely we have to see in this geological history of the earth. So just mind me students, you understand the basic concept regarding this? Okay, now we will move forward. I will erase this point. See, this is very easier topic. Means as such it seems to be very difficult. Means students complain that sir it is a difficult topic. But when we discuss, I have my sharing your experience that then after the class students say sir that we understood it very well. And I will just trust me, we'll go in that same space. That it means you can understand it very very comfortably. Yes. So now, as far as this geological history is concerned, what is the importance? You must know what is the importance of the study of geological history of the earth. Yes, see, because you must know why. Because there must be a question in your mind, sir, why we need to understand this geological history of the earth? What is the importance in studying it? Yes, so the students, my dear students, it is very very important in order to know the scientific, to understand, it's important to understand what the scientific evolution of the earth. Getting it? The most important purpose. This is the very very most important purpose. Why we need to understand the geological history of the earth? Because in order to understand the scientific evolution of the earth, in how in scientific manner, means what is the scientific basis, in what way, that means we can trust upon it that the evolution of the earth took place. And this evolution of the earth can be understood in a scientific manner with the help of study of the geological history of the earth. And students, further, in order to understand means how the origin of the evolution of this plant crust that we have already discussed, plant, its crust, then various plants, animals, living places, etc., and what further development took place. It also can be understood in a very, very easier manner with the help of the geological history of India. And students, that's why the various countries such as India, Canada, USA, these all have their own geological survey. They also conduct the geological survey. We know that as per a geological survey of India, India is also the geological survey. We call it as a geological survey of India. Similarly, there is geological survey of Canada, Russia, USA, Australia, etc. Yes, means all the countries gives importance to their geological history of their country. Means it also this geological history helps us to understand the geological structure of our nation, of our country, and for that purpose there is a separate department called Geological Survey of India. This special initiative of every government is there. Means for India it is of India, then for respective countries itself. So this is the wider explanation necessity of it. Further, the geological structure or the geological history helps us to understand what sort of the different rocks are there, what is the geological structure in our particular region. Means especially for the country like India, which has a vast terrain, means what sort of geological structure is in the north, what is in the South India, what is in the East India, what is in the West India, in particular state, particular region, so that we can implement our developmental processes or developmental projects in that manner. Yes. For example, in southern India, there is a peninsular region, means, or say take the example of the Deccan Plateau in the Maharashtra, means thick mountainous plate, thick plateau is there, layer after layer. So, whether it is possible to go for the wells in this area or what sort of irrigation measures we can do here, means in that manner, it also helps us it can be decided on the basis of if you know very well the geological structure of any country. Getting it? Similarly, if you come to the peninsular India, I'm talking in the Indian sense, then you come to know that yes, the geological structure of our northern plains of India, for example, especially the UP and our state of Bihar, here we have not that much peninsular rock structure. Yes, so we can go for here the different sort of means of irrigation and different sort of agricultural activities are that suits as per that area. So these are the number of benefits that helps us to understand the geological structure of the country, and vicariously we can take the various developmental decisions like that. So in all different sense, it becomes necessary for us to understand the geological structure or the geological history of any particular nation and for the entire world or earth as a whole. Yes. So now by this time we have seen what is geology, what is geological structure, what is geological history, then what is the importance of studying the geological history of the earth. Now we have to come to the point that the very, very important point. And what is that important point? What is the tool? So as per as tool or the means of studying is this geological history, means the study of the rock, the study of the fossils. Yes, means there are different techniques are used there for radioactive dating, carbon dating, radioactive dating, carbon dating. You have heard most about that. So means by using different techniques, we do the study of the rocks, we do the study of the fossils, and by this way we can get into the geological history of the earth or any particular country. Yes, and the most important tool here is the geological time scale. Yes. So what is the most important tool for study of this geological history of the earth or geological history or structure of any country? It is the geological time scale. With the help of this, we can study very well the geological history or the geological history of the entire earth or say or India or even of your particular state like Bihar with the help of this geological time scale. So the name itself suggests time scale, means it have arranged the different geological formations, different geological developments as per the chronology, as per the time, means preceding time to the recent time. old ancient time to the present time, what sort of geological development took place, what sort of geological formations took place, it all we can get, or what sort of, how the man evolved, how the plants came into origin, when they came, how the evolution man takes place, everything, when the volcanoes took place to a larger extent, when the orogenies were formed. Yes, means different orogenies. For example, or in tertiary period, that Himalayan mountains came to their original existence, means Himalayas were formed. So all this when happen, it can be studied with the help of this geological time scale. So now the question is, now what exactly this geological time scale is? Geological time scale, which is the important tool to study the geological structure of the earth. Yes. So now understand, students, what exactly it should be. Can anybody guess what may be the geological time scale? So I will dictate you the definition. So as far as geological time scale is nothing but how we can define it, it is the chronological dating. Chronological dating. Dating means not that you do. Dating means not of yours, but of that Sunny Deol. He said Tariq pe Tariq. It is that dating. So it's nothing but it is a chronological dating of various geological formation. The chronological dating of various geological formations and the life. Yes, geological formation and the life. What is it? It is a chronological dating. So as far as geological time scale is concerned, it's nothing but it's a chronological dating of what? Of various geological formations and life. If you take life, means here both plant as well as animal. Yes, and other microorganisms like bacteria and all these. So with respect to their time and place. Yes, just understand why I am writing in this fashion, because it becomes easier to remember for you. So time and place of their origin, evolution and extinction. Of their origin, evolution and extinction. Evolution. So understand. Now what exactly the geological time scale is? So geological time scale is nothing but it's a chronological dating of various geological formations and life, particularly plants and animal, with respect to their time and place of their origin, evolution and extinction. Getting it? So geological time scale is nothing but it is the chronological dating. Chronology means, chronology as per the sequence of their origin, means which has formed first, which has came into existence first, that will lie first, then after that the newer one, then after that the further newer one and the newest one. Yes, that is chronologically as per the date. So it's nothing but the chronological dating of the geological formation. Now what is geological formation? As far as geological formation is concerned, it can be defined as the assemblage. It is nothing but the assemblage of what? Of the rocks of similar character is called as geological formation. What is geological formation? Means the assemblage. Assembling, coming together, means assemblage of the rocks of the similar geological characters. Yes, the main rocks which are having similar characters, they will be placed at one place together. Yes. So now, for example, the sandstone rocks, marble, there are different rocks. So marble will be placed at one place. Then we will study only the origin and study of the red sandstones. Yes, in different fashion. So all the sandstones having the same geological structure, some similar characteristics. All the sandstone have similar characteristic. All the marbles will have the same characteristic. All quartz will have same characteristic. So means the assemblage of the rocks of similar characteristic, that is called a geological formation. Means sandstone is a different geological formation, then marble rock is a different geological formation, like that. So chronological dating of geological formations, that means the rocks of similar character, also the life, means not only rock but also the life comprising both plants and animals with respect to their, in terms of their time and place. Time means at what time, means say how many 100 years, million years ago, or 40 million years ago, or 10 million years ago, in that terms. And place means at which place of the world they originated with respect to their origin, evolution and extinction, means at which place and which time their origin took place. For example, dinosaur, at which place and which time they originated, when their evolution took place, and then when their extinction took place. So as far as extinction means, is nothing but it's a death or losing of or the death. Yes. So now what exactly the geological time scale is? So geological time scale is nothing but it's a chronological dating of the various geological formation and life comprising plants and animals with respect to their time and place of origin, evolution and extinction. Yes. So this is what your geological time scale is. Now as far as India is concerned, so for India, the Holland. It is T.S. Holland who has formed a geological time scale of India. So geological time scale of India was given by a scholar. His name is T.S. Holland. Yes. So as far as this geological time scale is concerned, now we have to see what exactly this geological time scale is. Means we'll see structure. So my students, just understand, we say that a century, then we say that decade, then we say that year, and then we say that the month etc. Yes. So what we are doing, we are arranging this span of time in a descending order. Century means comprises 100 years, decade comprises 10 years, 1 year comprises 12 months, and 1 month comprises 30 days. Means it is in descending order. This is chronological dating. What we are doing, we are arranging them in a chronological order. So similarly, as far as the geological time scale is concerned, we have eon, then we have era, then we have period, and finally we have epoch. Getting it? So students, as this is arranged in a chronological order, similarly as far as this eon is concerned, it is the largest time division that has been made by the scholars or the geologists with respect to the geological time scale. So my question to you is, what is the largest time division as far as the geological time scale is concerned? So your answer will be epoch? No, it is eon. So it is the largest time division. It is largest time division on geological time scale. Isn't it? See students, as such this topic is very bit sort of boring and students avoid this topic, but I want to make it, and it is very difficult to understand. Yes, that's true, but I want to make it very easier, the easiest most topic for you I want to make, and I want to make it understand in a very systematic fashion, and that's why I'm going step by step with a a considerable pace. I am not being faster. Yes, I want to make each and every concept clear. So your focus must be toward me. Yes, they only will be understand. Your attention should be with me and blackboard. So what I am saying, as we classify century, decade, years and months, similarly in the same fashion, as far as this geological time scale is concerned, the largest time division that we have, our scholars have made, it is a eon. Yes, then after this eons, it is divided into, this eon is further divided into different eras. Then eras are further subdivided into periods, and periods are subdivided into epoch. Getting it? Just got this idea clear? Yes. Now we have to see what exactly the eons are there, how many eons are there, how many eras are there, how many periods are there, and epoch are there. So, first of all, as per if we consider eon, then there are how many eons? Any answer from you? I will make it like this fashion. So, the very first eon is, any idea, my students? Hadean. So, Hadean eon, it is the oldest eon, followed by Archean. Then the third is Proterozoic, and the last is Phanerozoic. Yes, it's very easy, just believe me. It's very easy. First one is the Hadean, second is the Archean, third is the Proterozoic, and fourth is Phanerozoic. Yes, just understand this first. Means the largest time division is eon, and how many eons are there since the beginning of the earth? Yes, how many are there? Means there are the four: Hadean, Archean, Proterozoic and Phanerozoic. Yes, so as far as Hadean is concerned, it is the very first, means from where? From the origin of the earth. And as far as the origin of the earth is concerned, it is considered to be the 4.6 billion years ago. Billion years ago. 4.6, some of the scholars consider it as a 4.5 also, but majority of use 4.6, and 4.6 billion is nothing but 4,600 million. Isn't it or not? It is 4,600 millions. That is, means the 4.6 billion years ago, the origin of the earth took place. Yes, and the very first period was Hadean eon, followed by the Archean. Then, and what we do, what is the oldest one that we arrange at the bottom, means this is the pattern followed in the geological time scale. Here the oldest one is arranged at the bottom, followed by the newer one, and the youngest one. The youngest one is Phanerozoic. Now, see, so what I have told you, every eon has been divided into the eras. Yes, so, and every era has been divided into periods. So now what happens, my dear students, as far as these eons are concerned, this is a very huge time span, and we are concerned mainly to this Phanerozoic. This only the last one eon. Only this eon is relevant for us in order to study the geological structure of the India or of the world also, or the geological history of the entire earth. In order to understand that geological history of the earth, the most relevant for us is Phanerozoic, because the most of the geological development took place in this Phanerozoic eon. And as far as this Proterozoic and Archean and Hadean, all three are concerned, they are not relevant for us. Yes, and that's why we don't study in detail this Hadean, Archean and Proterozoic, and we are concerned with the study of in-depth study of this Phanerozoic eon. So that's why only it has been divided into the different eras. So what are the different eras as far as Phanerozoic is concerned? Then there are how many eras of the Phanerozoic eon? There are the total 3. There are total 3 eras, means Phanerozoic eon is subdivided into the 3 eras. Which are those eras? Any idea, my students? Yes, we will see. The very first is Paleozoic era. Then second is the Mesozoic era. Mesozoic. era, and the last one and the newest one is the Cenozoic era. Yes, so we have seen that eons have been divided into the eras. So as far as these previous 3 eons are concerned, we don't divide them into the eras because they are not relevant for us as far as the geological development of our Mother Earth is concerned, and that's why the geologist has divided only this Phanerozoic, that means the youngest one eon, into the 3 eras. The very first is the Paleozoic, and we know that I have already told which is the youngest one, oldest one, that we write at the bottom, Paleozoic, then the Mesozoic and the Cenozoic. Yes, PMC. What is that? This is called as PMC. PMC era. Which era? PMC era. Means Paleozoic, Mesozoic and Cenozoic. PMC era. How to remember it? As a PMC era. Paleo, Meso, Ceno. You can remember it also as a Paleo, Meso, Ceno or PMC eras. So getting my students, are you clear up to this point? Means we have seen that the only youngest eon, that is the Phanerozoic, it is relevant for us, for our study point of view, and only that one we divide into the different eras. And we have divided into how many eras? These 3 eras. Now we have also seen that we further divide this era into the various different periods. So what we have done, we have divided this Paleozoic, Mesozoic and Cenozoic into further several periods. So as far as Paleozoic is concerned, we have divided into the various periods that we'll see. So here first I will erase this. Is it fine for you? Okay. So see, I am erasing this point. So now we have to divide. We have divided important eon, that is Phanerozoic, into the eras. These are the 3 eras. Now we have to divide these eras into periods. So as far as our geological history is concerned, we divide all these 3 eras into the periods. So now the very first is the Paleozoic era. How will we divide it into? Okay, better I will, because you got this concept, eon, era, period and epoch. So I will brush out this also. So now see, I will brush this out. So see, as far as Paleozoic era is concerned, it is further subdivided into, see, I will now erase this also. So very first Paleozoic, Cambrian period. Yes, now after that Ordovician period, then Silurian period, then Devonian, then Carboniferous period, and the last one is in this Paleozoic, Permian period. So now how many? Just wait. So as far as this Paleozoic era is concerned, we have divided this Paleozoic era as we have seen, because we know that first eon, then era, then period, and then epoch. So we have divided eons, Phanerozoic eon, into the different 3 eras, and the very first now era is the youngest or the oldest one is the Paleozoic. We have further divided into periods. And what are the periods? We are divided into how many periods? That is 6 periods. So Paleozoic era comprises 6 periods. The very first is the Cambrian period. Second is Ordovician period. Third is the Silurian, then the Devonian, then Carboniferous and Permian period. So it is how it is, remember, it is as a Co-Side. Just wait. The code language here is Co-Side Carper. Cosidecarper. How you can remember it as a Cosidecarper? You can learn this easily, Cosidecarper. But just remember that as far as co is concerned, here the two eras are there, Cambrian and Ordovician. Then single, Cosidecarper. Cosidecarper. You just memorize this Cosidecarper, then you can easily remember and you will not mistake your sequence. C for Cambrian, O for Ordovician, C for Silurian, D for Devonian, Car for Carboniferous, and Per for Permian. Yes, so in this way you can remember all these 6 Paleozoic eras, 6 periods of the Paleozoic era. So now got it, students? Yes, now I have told you that the previous, what are the previous eons? The previous eons are the Hadean, then Archean, and then Proterozoic. So what happens? This and Paleozoic, fourth was here the Phanerozoic. Yes. So what we do, there is a practice prevalent in the geologists that all these eons, that means the Hadean, then again Archean and Proterozoic. All the Hadean, Archean and Proterozoic, all 3 eras, eons are considered as the, just a minute, as the supernova, as a super eons, or this Precambrian eras. Yes, understand, students? See, I will again explain you with the help of that geological time scale, but just understand. Means we have seen that this is a Phanerozoic eon. Phanerozoic eon is divided into the different eras. The very first era was the Paleozoic. Again, it was divided into the different periods, and we know that the very first period was the Cambrian, and that is why all the entire time span before this Cambrian period is considered as a Precambrian, or as a supernova eons. Means all these are previous 3 eons are considered as a superneon, superior or super eons, or as a Precambrian era. Yes, means the time is before, entire time span prior to this Cambrian period is also considered as a Cambrian era. This is Precambrian era. This is a Cambrian era, and the entire time period is considered as a Precambrian era. Which era? Precambrian. This is Cambrian and Procambrian. Getting it? See, since this is Cambrian, it is called as Cambrian era, and prior to that Precambrian era. Or this period before this Cambrian is also considered as, in case of eons, as a super eons. Which eons? Super eons. Which super eon? The Precambrian super eon. Yes, we also consider as a Precambrian super eon or Precambrian era. Getting it? Means entire all those eons before this Cambrian are considered as the Precambrian super eons or the Precambrian eras. Getting it? Just understand this up to this. You will again, this idea will be clear. So now we have divided the Paleozoic era into these 6 periods. Now our second period was epoch. So our second era was, we have first seen the Paleozoic. Now we have to see the Mesozoic era. So as far as this Mesozoic era is concerned, it is further subdivided into this as a Triassic period, Jurassic period, and Cretaceous period. So now getting it, students, this second is the era of that Phanerozoic eon. It has been divided into the 3 periods, which is the first one is the oldest one is the Triassic period, second is the Jurassic period, and the third one is the Cretaceous period. Yes, so in these three periods we have divided this Mesozoic era. Getting it? Now the third one is we have seen the Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and now the last is Cenozoic. So now as far as Cenozoic is concerned, this Cenozoic era is further subdivided into two most important periods, and that is the Tertiary period and Quaternary period. Very easy. Getting it? So we have divided this Cenozoic era into how many periods? The Tertiary period and the Quaternary period, into two periods. Now we have seen that eon has been divided into the era has been divided into the periods, and now the periods has been divided into the epochs. So my dear students, now we have seen there were 4 eons, then only we have dealt with the last youngest eon that divided into the different eras, then again that era divided into the periods. Yes, now there is a epoch. So now as far as epoch is concerned, we only divides, or which period we divide? Only these two periods divide into the further epoch. Why? Because again we are mainly concerned with only the epochs of this tertiary period as a quaternary period. Getting it? Because we don't have any relevance, we don't have any importance of, or there is no utility in dividing the previous periods, yes, into different epochs, and that's why we only restrict to the division of only these two periods into the subsequent epoch. So now as far as tertiary is concerned, we divide it into the various epoch. The very first is Paleocene, Eocene, Oligocene, Miocene, and Pliocene. So getting it, students, so we have divided this tertiary period. We have divided this tertiary period into these various eons, epoch. The very first is the Paleocene epoch, then is the Eocene epoch, then Oligocene epoch, then Miocene and Pliocene. Getting it? We have divided into these are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Getting it? So how many epochs are there? As far as tertiary period is concerned, it is further subdivided into the 5 epoch, and to begin with, the very first is the Paleocene, that means the oldest, Paleocene, then Eocene, Oligocene, Miocene and Pliocene. Yes, and as far as this quaternary period is concerned, it is further subdivided into how many epochs? The very first is Pleistocene. Pleistocene epoch, and which is that? Pleistocene and Holocene. Pleistocene epoch and Holocene epoch. Yes, getting it, students? Pleistocene epoch and Holocene epoch. So students, as far as epoch are concerned, we only divide, means we have seen that the periods we further divide into the epoch, but as far as we have different periods, yes, we consider, means these are the periods of Cenozoic era, but prior to that we have also seen the Mesozoic era. Mesozoic era comprises which periods? Triassic, Jurassic and Cretaceous. Haven't we seen? Triassic, Jurassic and Cretaceous. So these are the three periods of the Mesozoic era, and prior to that we have seen the very first. There were different 6 periods to begin with. Archean, Ordovician and all this Archean period, then Ordovician period, then Silurian period, then Devonian period, then Carboniferous periods and Permian periods. So all these different periods are there, and followed by these 6 periods we have again Triassic, Jurassic and Cretaceous. So there are such different additional periods also prior to these 2 periods, but as I have told you that we are not concerned with the division of these periods into further epoch, because we have, as far as the study is concerned, we are concerned with only the epochs in tertiary as well as the quaternary period, and that's why geologists have only divided this only 2, that means only last 2, tertiary period and quaternary period. These are the comparatively newest one. These are more relevant for us. The more of the geological structure or the development that is relevant for human being or our study that took place in this tertiary and quaternary period, and that's why only these 2 periods have been divided into, further epoch that we have seen: Paleocene, Eocene, Oligocene, Miocene and Pliocene. Yes, and quaternary into Pleistocene and Holocene. Yes, so how it can remain, you can keep in mind as remember it as a Piomb. I will use different pencil. How you can remember it? Piomb pH. This is the code word that we can remember. Piomb pH. P for Paleocene, Eocene, Oligocene, Miocene, Pliocene, Pleistocene and Holocene. Yes, Piomb pH. You know pH value. We can consider the pH value. Yes, that is pH value. Then Piomb pH. If you use this term regularly, Piomb pH, then you can easily remember this. Yes, it is easier to remember. This is a code name for enter all these epochs. Piomb pH. Paleocene, Eocene, Oligocene, Miocene, Pliocene and Pleistocene and Holocene. Yes, now but you can say that as far as this Holocene epoch is concerned, this is the present epoch wherein we all are residing. Yes, this in our recent epoch is the Holocene epoch. Yes, wherein the modern man developed. Yes, it is very interesting study. We will see how the development took place in the next class. So here I would like to conclude this in a manner that we have divided this eon into the eras into the periods, and periods into the epoch. So students, see, I have not shown you the geological time scale just for the simple reason that I wanted to make you understand these points in a separate fashion. That's why I studied you only epoch first, then era, then periods and then epoch. So what I expect from you is that you make a sketch of all this that I have drawn here in a different fashion, in the same similar fashion. So and understand all these different subgroups that we have discussed today itself. First master this and then only proceed to the next points. Yes, otherwise if you study the entire geological time scale at a time, if you see that entire picture, then it will be confusing for it. And unless you until you understand this bit by bit, subdivision by subdivision, then only if you learn this well, then you will understand it easily and without any confusion. Yes, so whatever the subtopics, subsections, I have divided all these. So study, draw in your notebook this entirely in different formats and then study them separately. Yes, now I will show you the PPT. So to make it more conceptual clarity, we have still 5 minutes. So see, we'll come to this point later. See, so students, I told you that I told you that there are, as far as this geological time scale is concerned, it comprises how many eons? The largest division eons, the Hadean, Archean and Proterozoic. Yes, and the last one is the Phanerozoic. So these are the 4 eons. But I have told you that again, only for, we are not concerned with this rest of the 3 previous eons. So that's why we divided only the last one, that is this Phanerozoic eon, into the eras. Yes, and which are those 3? We divided it Phanerozoic into the 3 eras. The first one the Paleozoic, second was the Mesozoic, and the third was the Cenozoic. Yes, and again we told you that, we discussed that as far as this Paleozoic is concerned, we are divided into the further periods. Only these 3 eras have been subdivided. 3 eras of the Phanerozoic eon have been subdivided into the periods. And as far as Paleozoic is concerned, it is divided into the 6 periods. To begin with, Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous, and Permian. Yes, so these are the 6 periods of Paleozoic era. The Mesozoic era has been subdivided into the further 3, that means the Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous. And again, Cenozoic, the last era, is divided into this Quaternary and Tertiary periods. Yes, so, and later on we have also divided into the different epoch. That epoch chart is not here, but I have separately discussed with that. Only this, see, now periods to epoch. As far as epoch subdivision is concerned, so see what we have done. We have not divided this rest of the epochs. Means the epochs from the periods from Cambrian to Cretaceous, we have not divided further into epoch, because just for the study of convenience, we only need for our purpose of study that suffice only this tertiary as well as quaternary. That's why only these 2 periods have been subdivided into the epoch. And we have seen that tertiary Piom PH. Yes, which epoch? Piom PH. Paleocene, Eocene, Oligocene, Miocene, and Pliocene and Pleistocene and Holocene. You will have confusion between here Pleistocene and here, but you can see that Pliocene comprises less number of the letters, and Pleistocene comprises number of more letters. So that's why it will be the last. Yes, Pleistocene. And as far as Paleocene is concerned, Paleo means the oldest one, because you will have confusion in this Paleocene, Pleistocene, and this P, and this P. So I will tell you Paleocene, then Pliocene, and Pleistocene. So see, how to remember these 3 P's? As per as Paleo, the literal meaning of Paleo is that the oldest one. Yes, so of course this Paleo, if you remember this point that Paleo means oldest one, so obviously we will put at the bottom this first will, you say that yes, Paleo means this is the first P. Then compare the again confusion between the Pleistocene and Pliocene. So you know, here are the less number of the letters are here are the more number of the letters. So less is at the bottom and more will be at the top. Yes, in that sense you can remember this Pliocene and Pleistocene, so there will be no any confusion. Yes, you just spend some time, you will understand it very well. So now, we have seen students eon, eras, periods. Yes, and now we have to again for the study geological history. Now, if you understand this well, yes, one point remember is that now I have told you that all these eons which are collectively called as Precambrian, these are called as the Precambrian super eons. Precambrian super eons are Precambrian eras. Some scholar called as the Precambrian eras also collectively the entire time span prior to this Cambrian called as the Precambrian era are to be sophisticated called as a super eon. Yes, Precambrian super eon. What is this called as? Precambrian super eon. Because prior to Cambrian. Yes, so means the entire time span prior to this Cambrian is considered as a Precambrian super eons. Yes, that's why I have written. See, all these 3 are clubbed together and they are called as a Precambrian supereons or Precambrian era, or the simply you can say the Precambrian period. Means Precambrian era means all these three things. And why we are clubbing together and not giving importance? Because that has not that much geological significance in our study. Yes, so we are not least concerned about this, and we are concerned only with this Cambrian to Quaternary. Yes, getting it, students? Now we have to see. We have seen that the age of the earth is 4.6 years, means from this to the recent point. So this Hadean means 4.6 period to the 0 years or the present date, till date. So this is the time span. Yes, again we can take the help of another geological time scale. This is for your convenience I have come. So see, students, so getting it, now we will see what exactly happened in tomorrow. In the next class we will study what exactly what is the geological history, what important thing development happens in this period, means what happened in the Hadean, bit of in Archean and Proterozoic, and especially the more emphasis will be in the Phanerozoic, and we will study step by step in different periods what happened in the next class. So students, for today's class, so students, see, as far as this topic is concerned, it 100% is a difficult topic, and it's difficult for teacher also to make understand to the students and for students also to understand. But I know how to teach it, and I am teaching it in a simpler fashion. You just what we have taught today, discussed today, you just make note of that, or note all those points and study section wise, point by point, just study eras, then discuss regarding the eons, then eras, then periods and epochs. So study this well. In the next class tomorrow itself we will discuss in detail this. Getting it point? So you must do this task unless and until you learn all this, whatever we have learned today. It will be difficult for you to understand the next further class that is based upon this. Yes. So I am telling time and again I am telling you that it will be a participative method of use and minds. Means I will also put in my hard effort, but you equally have to put in your hard effort. And see, our target is, what is our target? That magical score. Yes, do I need to tell you? No. You know what is your magical score, how you need to score 200 plus mark, and for other purpose, if and unless and until you study it right from the very first class, it will be difficult for you to secure that, to attain that goal. You keep yourself motivated, because unless and until you keep yourself motivated, you will not work hard. Keep in front of your eyes, yes, this is my target. I will not stop unless until I secure it. Means, Prapya Varanyubodhata, Uttishtita Zagrata, Prapya Varanyubodhata. Swami Vivekananda has very nicely said, Uttishtita Zagrata, Prapya Varanyubodhata, means stand up and stop, don't stop till you achieve your goal. So you have to do the same thing. And see, I will be very unhappy if you don't read what we have studied today. Yes, you must study it well, you must learn it well by heart, understand it in the fashion I have told you, I have taught you. And again, in this next class, we will discuss all this, what exactly the development took place. And we will understand unless and until, will not understand unless and until you read what we have studied well today. Yes, so you must do it. I will ask in tomorrow's class what we have studied today. Don't think that we are here in the online classes, so you will be leave. No, I will not scare any of you. I will ask you in this fashion also. Yes, so tomorrow I will ask you what we have studied today, and we are closing this topic for today itself. Again, we will resume it tomorrow. Yes, thank you students for joining this class, and believe me, it's very interesting. We will again see, there are very interesting things that have to be coming forward, but this was a structure that you need to understand. And once you understand this one or two couple of classes very well, then see, the understanding for the geography will be richer for you. Yes, so again, for forthcoming, you have very interesting things to come while studying this topic. It's very interesting, and you will see that geological time scale study is easier and interesting and not the boring that you previously used to consider. So I am coming again tomorrow. We'll again discuss the very interesting and fascinating things. Okay, fine. Thank you, students.